I am a whore. As you can see by the title of this video, today I'm going to be showing you the things that I carry on a daily basis. EDC, if you would, everyday carry. Now this is a category that I've been making fun of for years because who cares? Who cares what you carry on you? Well, unfortunately, I've fallen victim. I care about what other people carry. I'm a whore. Now, I do understand that some people really take it overboard and they match on colors and they go over the top when it comes to making sure that everything is aesthetically pleasing. I'm a very practical pig-up, which means that the things that I have on my person are things that I'm using. As a matter of fact, if I don't use them, they get scrapped, they get thrown, they get discarded. First things first is, of course, the wallet. Now, you might think that as a budding full-time virgin, I would carry some sort of magic-related wallet. No, this right here. It's a Kate Spade Year of the Pig wallet. Limited edition. This is my favorite wallet of all time. As you could see, it's a pig. Now, unfortunately, because this is limited edition, it only pops up on eBay every once in a while. But look at it. Look at it. Now, because this is a magic related channel, I have to mention to you that if you are a magician, I highly suggest for you to carry a separate wallet because this has all my personal information. And last thing I want is to find somebody's selected card in my wallet and they get access to my credit cards. No, thank you. Now, apart from a healthy dose of Cialis, I also carry a pen inside of my wallet. It's a nice tiny one. As a matter of fact, it's the refill for a narwhal pen, which is this thing right over here. This thing right over here is the pen. If it could ever focus. Jesus, fuck Canon. Maybe if I do one of these. There you go. Look at that. Contrast. Thank you, baby. So this thing, it's the refill for this, which doesn't fit in my wallet. So I took the refill out, put it inside, and it works a lot better. Now, this next one is a new addition to my carry. This is a Benchmade 940 Osborne. Now, is it a Benchmade 940 Osborne? No. No, it's not. But it has all the things that I would look for in a Benchmade 940 Osborne in a cheap clone. Now, I do have a sad tale with this knife because I had previously purchased a Benchmade 940 Osborne clone that was 1-to-1. It was perfect. I've gone to a knife store before. I've touched the 940. I opened it. I flipped it. I turned it inside out and I felt it. Then I ordered a clone off of Temu.com and it came and it was perfect. The scales were purple. Everything about the knife was solidly built. I couldn't bend it. I couldn't move it. I couldn't do anything to it. It was built like a tank. It was a perfect clone knife. It had to be a super clone. And I got it for a fraction of the cost. But alas, it was inside of my pocket without the clip. And I had put my leg up at a bar that I was at recently. When I left the bar, I reached into my pocket and it was gone. I went inside. I looked everywhere. And it wasn't there. So I go back on the website and I look for another listing of the knife and they're limited. So I pick one up immediately. And when I got it, it was this. It's a knife. It is a little bit flimsy. There is some play there. It's not the same shape. If you're familiar with these, it's not the same shape. God, focus, you fuck. It's not the same shape of it. It's the same sort of build. It's very sharp. I'll give them that. It is very sharp, much sharper than the other one. But that's historically known that Benchmades aren't necessarily the easiest things to sharpen. This one is hair-shavingly sharp. So I'm going to have to deal with it, unfortunately, until maybe I find another super clone or, dread I say, buy a legitimate Benchmade 940 somewhere down the line when your boy got it like that. Maybe you should buy my deck of cards. It's not something I carry on me on a daily basis, but you should buy them. Maybe it might get me to get a Benchmade for real. Now, I hate keys. I really do hate keys. Keys have been the bane of my existence. I shouldn't show you my actual keys because I know people clone them. But one thing that I found solves this problem immediately is something called a Chicago screw. So I went to Home Depot and I bought what is called a Chicago screw, which is that. You could see it on both sides. And you put it in, I put some spacers between it, and now I have this little condensed set of keys that doesn't jiggle around. I don't look like a janitor when I'm trying to pick up bitches at the bar. And look at that, it goes in your pocket. I could take out my key and just have it in there. I could put it in a door. I look like James Bond. And I also have a little scraper here. So this is a scraper, it's a pry bar, it's a bottle opener and a can opener if you want to call it that. It also has these pointless hex things that nobody's ever used in the history of existence. So I think it's a very nice thing to have. And it allows me to do another thing, which is pry open a Zyn container. I can't tell you, and I'm not promoting them, but I can tell you how beneficial it's been to introduce the nicotine pouch into my life. I used to be a die-hard caffeine addict. I would drink Red Bull, I would drink coffee, and then unfortunately you have enough anxiety attacks and you realize maybe I should tone down. So I found a suitable replacement in Zyn. I was influenced heavily by my boy Can't Cut the Tuck, Tucker Carlson, and his Zyn addiction. Now, I don't have an addiction. I only limit myself to approximately 2, maybe max 3 a day. However, I've noticed a vast amount of improvement ever since starting with these bad boys. Now, unfortunately, you would think in the United States we would have freedom and we would have the ability to have amazing flavors. We don't. We have shit. We have about 17 types of mint. That's all we got. And if you really want to go crazy, they got cinnamon. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of cinnamon and coffee, but only when I'm having coffee. You're not just gonna throw back on a hot summer's day a coffee zinny. What? No, thank you. You might go for something like citrus, but that's as crazy as we get. Because I have the world's best fans, however, I did make a mention on this on one of my live streams, and somebody sent me some European zinnies. They sent me Espressino. I'm looking for black cherry. That's my holy grail of zinnies. But you apparently have to be Zindiana Jones in order to procure a pack of black cherry. But they sent me these out. I haven't had the balls to try this one out because this one I believe is 8 milligrams and these are standard with 3. But this coffee, this Espressino, tastes 100 times better than the American one because they're sweet. Now, another person I have to give a nice little shout out to is Magic Buzz. Magic Buzz sent me these. However, they weren't Zyns. And I feel like it's when you ask your mom for a PlayStation and she gets you a game station that they give you, instead of Zyns, Zonix. But I do have to give him a massive shout out. You should definitely follow him on Instagram and or YouTube. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. And all he asked me for was to send a deck of cards to somebody in Texas, which I'm going to be doing. I forgot until now, and I'm going to do that. So don't you worry your butt off. Now, the reason I mentioned that pry tool is because, unfortunately, we're having a Zynpocalypse in the United States of America, and they've stopped selling Zyn online, as well as having some sort of litigation because apparently we don't like freedom. Fuck you, Chuck Schumer. So I've resorted to Rogue. Rogue is a great alternative. They're very flavorful, and they're available everywhere. The only unfortunate downside is that they have metal tins that you have to be a Thor in order to open. So what do you have a little pry bar, and you open up this puppy. And now guess what? I'm in it. I'm roguing, baby. So very, very useful tool to have. The other one is a handkerchief. A handkerchief right here. This is from a company, I believe, on Amazon called Dry Ski. They come in packs of 5. I can't tell you how much this has improved my life. I go to the gym often. As you could see, as you could tell, and I'm always wanting to get sweat off of my face, and this is a perfect thing. You rinse this out in water, and now you have a cooling thing. You could put it on your neck, and it cools you down. You could clean things when you need to, and you could just wash these at home, hand wash with some soap, and you're good to go. I go on walks too, and here in Miami, Florida, unfortunately, it is the devil's asshole when it comes to heat. So you're always constantly sweating. This is a perfect thing to wipe off. And I got made fun of. I got made fun of for carrying a handkerchief, but you know what? Fuck off. Fuck off, cunt. This is a great thing to have on you. It's very useful and it doesn't take up any space. You fold it up, you put it in your back pocket, and it's there. I've lost it in every pair of pants that I have because I just put it there and I forget it. So it's an extraordinarily useful thing to have on you, and I think that it's well worth it. The other one here is my watch. This is something that I've procured recently. It is one of my favorite things of all time. It is a homage watch to Dr. No and 007. I can't afford a $63,000 Rolex, but I can afford a slightly less expensive Thorn watch that looks virtually identical. And as you could tell, I also put it on this pseudo NATO strap with the same colors as the movie. And look at the attention to detail that I even got a smaller band than the actual lug size of the watch. If you recall in that movie, they used a smaller band, and I wanted to have a little bit of an homage to that. So I did that. And look at that. Look at the profile. It's a nice sleek one. Although what I realized in getting this and wearing it is that it's a direct copy of a Tudor watch. I thought it was copying that Rolex from the old movies. No, this is a pretty much a replica of a Tudor. I believe they're Bay, I forgot what the name of it is, but it's kind of a replica of that, which I'm not exactly happy about. But it looks exactly like the one from that Sean Connery movie, and it gets me a little bit tingly every time I look at it and check the time. Now, from time to time, I do go on my bike, my motorcycle, and I have to carry a little tool that reflects that. This is the SOG Power Pint. It's a multi-tool. It has some pliers. I've loosened it so you could open it in a sort of cool way. And this has also been fantastic. It has a bunch of tools in it. It has little eyeglass screwdrivers for your 4 eyes needs. It has some scissors. It's very robust and it's very useful. And this is another thing that I think is invaluable because it saved me many times on a motorcycle. And this is really proven to be a very invaluable tool, not only around the house, but also in person sometimes. And this is proven really to be a very invaluable tool. I really enjoy it because sometimes, you know, you need to readjust something, and something like this, which doesn't take up any pocket space, really does the job. Another one is this flashlight. I like carrying little flashlights because they're better than your phone. This is one that I have on me every day. Why? Because look at the size of that bitch. You don't even know it's there. And this is bright as fuck. Look at that. Look at that. I look like I'm summoning Jesus. It has a black light too, a UV light. It's very useful and very, very tiny. And what I like about it, again, is that it's better than your phone's flashlight. I can't tell you how many times I've lost something. It's in the dark. And then, for example, my Benchmade 940 clone that I went to the bar to look back, I didn't have my phone thing to look at because the phone wouldn't give me enough of a good scope. So I took this puppy out and I'm there looking. There's condoms, there's, I don't know, used napkins, there's pads, and I'm just there sifting through that sea of garbage to find my perfect replica of the Benchmade 940 Osborne. And at last, I couldn't find it. But at least I had a good shot with this. And that's it, really. I mean, I don't really carry much else. This is another thing that I've recently gotten, maybe I would say a couple months ago, the Ray-Ban. These glasses are phenomenal, especially again on the motorcycle, where in Florida you will get pulled over for having headphones on your bike. I decided to protest against that by carrying a large speaker on my person and blasting Celine Dion everywhere I went. But alas, this is a great alternative because it's just glasses. And these actually have bone conducting, so you could actually listen to music. It's very loud, louder than the actual motorcycle itself. You could take video, you could take pictures, you could take phone calls. It's very, very useful. The Ray-Ban Meta glasses. These, despite Meta probably seeing me fap, I think it's well worth it for their glasses, especially now that you could record 3-minute video. So this would be another thing that I deem infinitely useful. And of course, have I mentioned the PigCake missing piece deck of cards I think I have earlier? However, you should get them. They're limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't think I'm going to do a reprint on these. I don't think so. I might change my mind later, to be honest. But as far as things have gone with this campaign, I don't think. I think I might just go, hey, let this be. So they're very limited. Pick them up while you can and support your boy Piggy. Support your boy Piggy. We're also selling uncut sheets. You can look at those. They're limited. They're signed. They're numbered. And once they're gone, they're definitely gone. And speaking of gone, the last thing that I have on me that I carry every single day is a Springfield Armory Hellcat.
I see you again. When I see you again. When I see you again. When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.